Milwaukee PBS, our story is you.
I was the kid that believed when adults would say you could be anything you wanted to be. When I was 5, I knew I wanted to be an artist. It was the touch of construction paper, the smell of the crayons. It was hypnotic. And I remember the first time sitting down with these tools and seeing that, oh, green can be a tree, blue can be a sky. And it's like, that's it, I'm gonna be an artist. And by the time I was 6, because when you're a kid, most of your artwork that you see are in books. And I saw that, this is what you could do with it. I was like, well, then I'm gonna make children's books. And now as I'm nearing half a century, I'm looking to tell the whole story, and that is to write and illustrate those books. I genuinely love people. I'm interested in people. My stories often come from a pool of stories from my childhood, but I see them reflected in other people, and I keep seeing it come back and come back and come back until finally it's like, okay, there's a story here. A lot of people go through this. I think empathy is the biggest thing for anything that you do. People need to know that you're connecting. If you can connect with that person on that level, they're going to let themselves become immersed in the story more. I want to, and I try to do that in all my work, is to have that connection. Now that I'm writing it, I think I have a better shot at doing that, the picture more completely. Now at 50, I'm really able to practice and understand the range of mediums better. My work has always dealt with contrast. So if something is blue, I try to put orange next to it. If there's a black next to it, I put a white next to it. And over the years, I kept expanding on that idea. Well, if I do watercolor, why can't I contrast it with, crayons? And I like that effect. And then it's like, well, why can't I use paper over that to contrast that? And why not use fabric? I've done about 40 books. I've been fortunate that I get about 1 or 2 books a year. Sometimes they're collaborations, and each one is, a celebration when you get it. But then it's so much work that you just throw yourself into the book, because for 6 months to a year, you're just painting, you're just drawing, you're doing revisions. Art is not easy. Art itself is easy, but to survive at it, to touch people with it, to have someone look at a painting of mine and feel something emotionally, you have to work at that. And somebody asked me once how successful I was. And I said, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, how much money do you make? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I'm able to pay bills. I measure it in that when I go into a school and little kids' eyes light up. When I'm walking down the street and a parent will stop me and say, I buy all your books for my kids, and they love this one. And that's timeless. Now that I'm getting older and really practicing a life of these lessons, I think my work is getting stronger still. We're humans, we're meant to feel, we're meant to connect with each other. And I know that we live in a time where we're more interested often in our differences. I'm really at the point of just exhaustion with that. I'm more interested in what connections we have. And so I'm more interested in what do I find compelling about people? What do I find, what bridge we can build together? And art has been a wonderful vehicle for that. Everyone, whether or not they know it, loves art, whether it be music or paintings, movies, and it brings us together.
Milwaukee PBS, our story is you.